Hello YouTube, Silver the Redneck here. Today we're going to be working on my 2007 Ford F250 with the 6-liter diesel in it. I need to change the oil in it and grease all the fittings and bearings and all of that. That way that we can need to grease all the bearings and the fittings, that way that we can keep the truck in top running shape. The oil has only 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it. Can't remember if I changed it at 244 or 245. And I'll show you what it's got on it now. So if you can see there, it's 248,191 miles on the truck. Alright guys and girls, I'm back. I have all of the breakdown of what I'm going to put into my truck. I'm going to review it with you and show you the total of this oil change and the Madden wiper blades is going to be $190.13. I receive a small discount at the parts store. To be honest, it's not even noteworthy due to the fact that most of what I'm paying for this stuff I could get at Walmart just as cheap. However, this parts store knows what they're doing. They know how to help the customer, and that is the reason that I will spend my money with them versus a big box corporation that doesn't care who I am coming in. So let's get to it. I chose Rotella T6 synthetic 5W40, $24.99 per gallon. I had to get 3 gallons. If you were going to do this on your own truck or another 6.0, you would need 4 gallons or 14.5 quarts. I got Kell Hot Shot Stiction Elimination 640. Let me show you what that looks like. Here we go. It's Hot Shot Secret, the original Stiction Eliminator diesel oil additive. Now what this is supposed to do is help reduce issues inside of the turbo and my injectors. I am having a slight stumble is not the right word. It's not really a miss, but it's just not exactly what it should be. I'm thinking it's something to do with an injector probably going bad. I'm gonna see if this stuff will clear it up. So let's go from there. I got some blue towels for my hands, 266. I got some brake cleaner. That's the only thing that doesn't go with this. I may use a little bit on the underside to treat some of the oil that's clogged up, but more than likely not. And then I've got my my filter, and with the filter I got the cap as well. The cap on my truck is beginning to become worn from being on and off as many times as it has. This is something you want to look at on your cap. You want to make sure that this gap here is only 1 inch. This is a better part because it is smaller. It doesn't take as long for the oil pressure to build up to start your truck. So you want to keep in mind for that. If you get another cap that's 2 or 3 inches tall, my personal recommendation is to take it back and find another one and go from there. But if you go to powerstrokehelp.com and the Diesel Tech Run and several others, I'm sure, but I've seen those on there, they talk about that cap is just not the right size. It is a screw up on the manufacturer's part, in my opinion, and you can go to their websites and they'll be able to give you more in-depth, detailed. I'm just here to show you the oil change. So, and last but not least, we've got our windshield wiper blades. I am going to put that in here. They're about $25. So if you were doing this oil change and you were not doing the wipers with it, you're looking at about $160, $170, and that's going to cover the Stiction Eliminator. And I'll post a video on what I think afterwards. I've warmed the truck up and we've got it sitting. I'm going to pop the hood and we're going to get things underway. I'm in no hurry to do this. I'm going to let it drain. While it's draining, I'm going to do some other things. There's no point in rushing through this because I have nothing else to do for the day. I'm also going to wash the truck today after I'm done with the oil change. The engine bay is plenty warm, so I don't have to worry about the oil draining. It's going to drain real nice for me. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl underneath it, and I'm going to drop the drain plug out, and then I will come back to the top side and I will undo the oil cap to let it flow a little easier. I'm going to go locate my drain pan, and we're going to get underway. Okay, so I had to switch the camera from my usual clip mount to a small tripod. The drain plug on my truck is a 19 millimeter. We're gonna crawl under there. We got my oil bucket. I'm gonna grab some towels. If y'all can see, I've got a little bit of an oil leak down here. All diesel seep, as they call it. This looks like I may need to. This looks like I may need to check out and make sure I've got all of my washers or gaskets, whatever's under it, configured in and in the right place. One of the unfortunate parts of this truck, I guess you could say, is it takes an awful lot of oil, so it's more expensive, and it's more difficult to drain with a conventional oil drain. We're going to take and clean off this bolt. It has a magnet on the bottom side to trap debris floating through the engine. It was relatively clean, so I'm happy with that. I was running 1540 and Lucas in this, and I got to checking around and really didn't need the 1540 in it. It really is better to put the synthetic, so that's what I'm gonna do. Looks like this washer here could be replaced, and it would probably stop the leak. It's not bad enough where I need to worry about it, so I'm gonna make a note, and next time I do it, I'll replace this washer right here, and it should stop the small drain. Everything is coming out right now, so we're gonna go to the top side and undo it up there. Okay, so we're gonna undo our oil fill cap, which is located right here. Check it. It looks good. Set it back down there. That way that more air can get in through the system and it'll drain quicker. It seems we have a problem though. I think my bucket has a hole in it. So I'm going to take care of this real quick, and I'll bring you back here in a moment when I'm done. Okay, so the oil's just about finished draining. We're going to go ahead and remove the oil filter now. I do not have a large enough socket right now to do it, so I'm using a crescent wrench. I believe somebody said it's a 34 or 36. But if you got a crescent wrench and you're careful with it, you'll have no problems either. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a look at removing the cap. It's very dark. However, every time I've changed oil in this truck, it has been that consistency. It is a high mileage truck, so I do not think that there's anything to fear with this. I'm gonna set it there. I'm gonna put the camera down. And get some towels. Okay, so we're gonna get some oil, put our filter in, and start to fill it back up. I'll show you what that's like. Okay, so we're gonna insert our filter and cap into our housing and hand tighten it. I like to tighten it as much as I can with my hand. That way I just ensure that much more than I haven't cross-threaded it. Now we're going to get our crescent wrench here. Need to tighten it up a bit. You want to make sure that this is snug if you're using a crescent wrench like I am. Okay. So she's tight. All right, now we're gonna fill our oil up. It takes 14.5 quarts of oil to fill this system up when you drain it. There are some that is trapped inside of the engine that I'm told. I believe it's 3 or 4 quarts, so you don't change it every time. However, or change it all every time. However, we're just going to pour the Rotella T6 into this wide, largemouth funnel here. I'm going to put 1 gallon of the T6. Then I'm going to put our oil additive. Just want to make sure we get as much out as we can. Okay, here's our oil additive, diesel oil additive. Directions for initial cleanup. For a pickup truck, replace 2 quarts of engine oil with 2 quarts of stiction eliminator. Okay, so that's what we've got here is a 2-quart container, or half a gallon. We're going to open it up. This stuff stinks. It's the first time I've actually smelled it, and it is not pleasant. Just gonna pour it straight into our funnel. Man, that stuff is rank. Gonna let it drain. I paid almost $60, so basically $30 a quart for this booger here. So I am going to make sure that I get the most out of it. I have the remainder of the oil. I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way with the T6. I use the T6 in my truck for first year that I had it. Last year when I started pulling with it, I switched over to the 1540 to see if that did any better. I would say that definitely not. T6 is the way to go. It's a much cleaner looking oil, and it is more expensive. However, I think the gas mileage was even better with the T6 versus the 1540. The T, you know what, whatever. It's T something anyway. So our engine has 10 quarts in it right now. I'm gonna add the last gallon, which will equal 14 quarts. If it needs a little bit more, I will add some. It calls for 14.5. However, I've never had a problem with just putting 14 in it. And I don't even think I've got any more T6 laying around right now, so it'll be good enough for today. Okay, and last but not least, I'm gonna clean the cap off real good. As you could see, the cap didn't have hardly any particles on it. Nothing out of the ordinary, so there's no worries there. Didn't look like there was any water in with the oil, so we're good. You're gonna check and make sure that's good. You're gonna crawl up under the vehicle or just look under the vehicle, make sure there ain't nothing leaking, and then we're gonna start it. Okay, so everything is done. I've checked under the vehicle. There's no oil. Well, there's no oil leaking that should be. So I am going to start it, wait for the pressure to build up, shut it off, and let it cool, and then check it. So that's it for today, folks. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and make sure you subscribe for future updates to the 6.0 diesel. Takes it a minute. And there we have it. Oil pressure, people. So that's it. Like, comment, and subscribe below. Thanks for watching.